Hello everyone, it's Helder here from Natural Training Center. Today I wanted to go over some tips utilizing a kettlebell that'll help you with your hiking form. Within Natural Training Center, within our method, we go on a lot of outings, let's say a lot of hiking, spend a lot of time in the field, so we're always doing some kind of locomotion. If it's not running, it's hiking. And the last outing that we went on, I noticed a few things that I wanted to go ahead and address and help us, and hopefully the rest of you out there that aren't in our tribe can also find this useful. First thing that I want to address is we're always talking about hiking with our day packs on. I don't want to get too much into that. If you want to find any tutorials on types of packs and recommendations and how to pack your day pack or anything like that, we have that available in the Natural Training Center member area on naturaltrainingcenter.com. So I don't want to focus on that. What I want to focus on is how can we make our hike better? How are we going to help this hike build our attributes as opposed to destroy us? You see a lot of things happening when people are hiking. They're tired, their head is coming forward, they're always looking at the ground, they're barreling through with their feet kind of just scraping along. Okay, and what ends up happening, that's caused a lot by fatigue, and it's brought on sooner than later because of using improper structure or improper form when you are hiking. All right, so let's go ahead and just give you, let's say, 3 tips today, utilizing a kettlebell as far as the drills to go ahead and hammer those points home, so that hopefully it'll make more sense and you'll be able to utilize those and implement those instantly into your hiking form. Okay, so we're assuming that you're comfortable with your pack. You know how to put your pack on. You kind of know if you move around, your pack's going to stay stationary. So once again, this isn't a tutorial on choosing a day pack or the right type of day pack or how to put on or make sure your day pack is good, but just keep that in mind. Okay, we're kind of taking it for granted in this tutorial. The next thing that I want you to keep in mind is a pose that we use. It's called the reset pose, and I don't want to get into too much detail. You can find that in our tutorials also on YouTube. But what we're trying to do here is think about a little checklist. We want to remain tall. We want our shoulders rolled back and down so that they're engaged with the body, engaged with the core. And we want our core activated. All right, so that's going to help us. So let's keep that in mind as far as before we even begin anything with the kettlebell. So knowing that we have those 3 points on our checklist, the first exercise that I want you to work on is a rack walk. Okay? Then let me just show you what to do here. So we'll take our kettlebell, we'll go ahead and clean it, or cheat clean it, whatever's easier for you, okay? And what we want to do here, you notice that I have a pack on for the purpose of this demonstration. I want to work on my alignment. There's a lot of pitching going forward, especially with our heads. So our heads are 1/7 approximately of our whole body weight. So when that starts pitching forward, you can tell what's going to follow. Back's going to start rounding, hips are going to go backwards. So what happens here, this kettlebell right now is telling me, don't do that, that doesn't feel comfortable. Maintain your alignment. Nice and tall, shoulders roll back and down, core is activated. Now I can go ahead and go for a walk. I'm more so mimicking the mechanics that I want when I'm hiking. I'm nice and tall, I'm not pitching forward, I'm straight, core is engaged, shoulders are rolled back and down, so the pack doesn't matter how heavy it is, my whole body and my whole core is addressing that. So that's tip number 1. Go ahead and rack your kettlebell, go for a walk. Notice what your body wants to do, okay? Combat that. Know that you're going to be in that good, strong reset pose, and that'll help you. Tip number 1. Okay, point number 2 that I wanted to bring up, midfoot drive while you're hiking. We see a lot of people have the tendency to either lead with the toe or lead with the heel. They're heel strikers. As you're going through all this, the terrain varies when we're out there hiking. You got pebbles, you have rocks, you have gravel, you have mud, depending on where you're hiking. So all of these scenarios, while we're out there hiking, you're not so much paying attention to everything that you're doing when you have these, let's say, snow tires on or these super heavy boots. Now, once again, depending on where you're hiking, I'm not going to wear minimalist shoes when I'm out there in 3 feet of snow, all right? So we're kind of, saying when we do have the options, let's go ahead and maximize that. But at the same time, when you train that way, even when you go ahead and put on your snow tires or your combat boots or your hiking boots or whatever the case may be, you've already ingrained those attributes. So you're going to be more prone to have your midfoot drive. So when you can practice, go ahead and try to work on as much minimalist stuff as you can so you could really feel the ground and feel all the nooks and crannies that are there and get that much more feedback to your body. That's going to aid you and not only help you with your form as far as not fatiguing, but it's also going to help you maintain your structure so that you don't roll your ankles and cause all sorts of different strains and everything like that because of leading with the toes, not being sure of the terrain, not having good balance, and then you're going to go for a slip down that slope, okay? So all of these things we're trying to lead you to with the experience that we've seen, getting the feedback over all of the years, and then trying to combine it with the right body mechanics to get you where you need to be. All right, so how do we hammer that midfoot drive point across with the kettlebell? Well, what I like to utilize and what I like to teach is a kettlebell squat, just a regular rack squat. You could even do a goblet squat or whatever the case may be. So however you want to hold the kettlebell, that's not the important part here. The important part here is to perform the right mechanics. What we're trying to do here is as we squat down, we want to push the floor away from us, all right? That's what we're thinking. Push the ground away from your body. As we're pushing the ground away from our body, we're thinking about pushing it with the midfoot, not with the toe, not with the heel. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that. Once again, get it up there, clean it. If your flexibility only allows you to go this far, that's fine, push away, midfoot drive, okay? As I'm going down here, I can even wiggle my toes, okay? I'm not on my heels, I'm more on the midfoot, pushing the ground away. If you are more flexible, you can go ahead, bring it all the way down, same scenario, pushing away. Push the ground away from you. Back down, push the ground away, okay? So there's a pretty cool tip, exercise, drill to help you solidify that midfoot drive for your hiking. Okay, the last point that I wanted to hammer across here is while we're hiking, and we see this with running, pretty much any type of locomotion, as we stated earlier, hips tend to fall back. All right, so everybody's nice and strong when they start hiking for the most part, and then as they start to fatigue because of their biomechanics going all over the place, or because of their lack of fitness, okay, let's be realistic here, they'll start to pitch backwards, okay? All of a sudden, back starts rounding, head, 1/7 of our body weight approximately, right, starts pushing forward. This doesn't bode well. That's how all that back pain ends up happening and leads to herniated discs, leads to discomfort, leads to a horrible experience while you're out there hiking. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to show you how much fun it is, and we want to give all these little tips and tricks that'll help us stay out there longer and enjoy it and get the most out of it. So what do I recommend for this top of the line, okay? Those of you that have been working with us for a while, you kind of notice this is very similar to our swing. So what am I going to recommend? The kettlebell swing, okay? Kettlebell swing will show you the top position because as you are performing the kettlebell swing correctly, not only are your hips going to maintain forward, but you're also getting nice and tall, solidifying that reset pose that we spoke about earlier. Nice and tall, shoulders roll back and down, core activated. All of these things are going to lead to a much better hiking experience. And remember, it's all about the baby steps, little by little by little by little. You're introducing these things, starting to feel what they're really all about and how they're going to help you correct your form. So this isn't something that you could rush into. So I'll just do a couple swings. Once again, have the backpack on. Am I ever going to perform swings with a backpack on? Absolutely not. So I'll just do a couple swings just to show you what I'm talking about as far as driving the hips forward, helping us maintain, having those glutes activated. This is all the good form that we're looking for while we're hiking. So we'll go ahead and do a few swings here. Nice and tall. You can tell hips are coming. Nice straight line. Staying nice and tall. And that's the third tip. Hope this helps you. Once again, our tribe has been working on a few of these checkpoints. We're on the checklist, and it's been helping them. So I wanted to go ahead and not just share it with them, share it with all of you. Hope this helps. Get out there and play.